No, I think you're spot on. As a matter of fact, I think one of the biggest mistakes I see companies make is when they treat cyber risk as its own little entity off to the side that tends to invoke technical questions with technical solutions. Really, companies need to think about cyber risk the same way they think about any risk. Like if a company is in business, they are constantly thinking about market risk, credit
Mhm.
risk, customer risk. Cyber risk needs to be elevated to that level because it affects all of those other different, all of their capabilities, their reputation, revenue, profits, efficiencies, mission goals, et cetera. And so if they don't have that, it's almost like a cultural shift. They need to think of it, have the right people in the room, and evaluate it in terms of what are the threats to my business and what are we doing about them, and what harm can take place if we don't do these things. Because then it's like a trade-off assessment, the same way they would evaluate other type of risks. And if they don't do that, it tends to become more of like a technical or budgetary conversation where someone might say, well, we need to increase our antivirus or threat protection. Well, how much
Mhm.
is that going to cost? Some of these things could be very expensive. It could be, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, aren't we running any? Well, yes. Well, why do we need another one? Well, this one's better. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
doesn't really hit the mark. It really has to be very specific to, listen, this is how, these are the vulnerabilities. These are the threats that the organization faces. These are our vulnerabilities. This is where we have gaps. And if we don't fix these gaps, this is the impact. So now we could have a business discussion. And this comes into play a lot. I had a company recently that sustained a cyber incident, and they had to make a decision because some of their customers, some of their largest customers demanded that they put certain things in place. And these were big ticket items. So now this became literally a business decision, which is if we want to retain our two biggest customers, we have to, and there was a whole list of things, including putting in a security operations center, which is a lot of
Mhm.
money, a lot of time.
Yeah.
So again, that's the type of conversation where it needs to take place, a business level decision. This is what could happen if we don't hear our gaps. This is what it might cost to fix it. Do you accept the risk or do we plug the hole?